she was trying to use the legal system inappropriately.
Federal court's no joke, right? Compared to the state court, federal court, way tougher.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, everyone's darling couple, are now officially on the cancellation radar after their lawyer revealed some shocking details about their behavior.
What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
It appears that no one was safe from their antics, not even their own daughter.
He is a certified predator.
After their lawyer abandoned them by exposing everything, they're starting to resemble Diddy in the drama department. And believe me, the entire legal world went into a frenzy when news broke about the shocking resignation of Blake Lively's lawyer.
Blake Lively might have just done herself in this battle with Justin Baldoni, although she didn't do it intentionally. It was something she said long before she ever worked with Justin Baldoni. Right, but there's something she said that has now been resurfaced, and it is right on the nose as far as what the issues are in her battle with Justin Baldoni.
Reports quickly emerged that the resignation wasn't just a routine parting of ways, but was rooted in deep-seated issues and ethical disagreements. The lawyer, whose name has been kept out of the press to avoid personal backlash, allegedly stepped down due to the untenability of Blake Lively's case against Justin Baldoni, combined with what he described as unethical behaviors and demands from Blake herself.
It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did, how she bullied her way through the process.
Sources close to the matter revealed that Blake Lively had been making increasingly unreasonable demands, expecting her legal team to pull off miraculous maneuvers to secure a win in her increasingly complicated lawsuit. This situation was reportedly made worse by her alleged mistreatment of her legal team.
He mocked Baldoni in the process. He said, it's an effed up bad situation with what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing.
Instances where she supposedly berated her lawyer over perceived slights or questioned their legal strategies not only strained their professional relationship, but also raised eyebrows in legal circles about the sustainability of her defense.
They always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about like Penn and Chase hating each other, being jealous and competitive.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
Everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
The legal community has reacted with a mix of shock and schadenfreude. While some express sympathy for any lawyer navigating the choppy waters of celebrity lawsuits, others see this as a cautionary tale about the risks of representing high-profile figures who may push for aggressive legal tactics.
Remember Savannah.
Another promise was no pet monkey. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
The implications for Blake's ongoing cases are significant, with her legal strategy now public and her reputation among legal professionals taking a hit. Finding a new lawyer willing to take up her case under such scrutiny could prove challenging.
But Baldoni's lawsuit is so just saturated with text messages and interviews and he has what I believe was a good faith basis, and this was not done in bad faith.
Transitioning from the legal drama to her personal interactions, Blake Lively's persona in Hollywood has not been without its controversies. Long before this legal upheaval, Blake was known as a charismatic yet polarizing figure.
She's basically saying, well, them suing me is retaliatory because I made a sexual harassment. It's kind of absurd, implying that no one can defend themselves.
The problem for her is that, we're all going to speculate how the New York Times got a copy of the Civil Rights Department complaint that, as you know, we talked about, should never have come out in the first place. That was weird.
One particularly telling incident involved a former assistant who recounted multiple occasions where Blake's comments veered into the realm of insensitivity, especially regarding the assistant's background and personal life.
And you're invoking this law, but I don't see any malice in the Baldoni suit, because there is a lot of evidence that maybe this isn't with maliciousness. So the judge, to see that a reasonable jury can find one way or the other, and if there's a tipping balance of fact, I'm not going to kick it away here. So it's a very high burden, and it should be really. But like you said, this is really designed for when people are called out, like, give me the basis for your lawsuit.
These instances of questionable behavior have had a tangible impact on her professional relationships and projects. Several directors and co-stars have been rumored to avoid working with her on new projects, wary of the potential for on-set tension and negative publicity.
This is all very strange that the New York Times got this article, and there's text messages that are incomplete from your complaint. Maybe this isn't malicious. Maybe your statements were not in good faith, and that's what she has to do in her motion.
The intricate web of media manipulation in Hollywood often remains hidden until a significant scandal breaks, shedding light on the machinations behind the scenes. One such instance is Blake Lively's alleged collaborations with influential media outlets, including the New York Times, to sway public opinion in her favor during her legal battles.
Judges, especially in New York, and a lot of contracts that are entered here in Hollywood have a New York venue provision. These judges are very well versed in the things that keep coming up, and these defamation claims do keep coming up. And then,
for instance, in March 2020, the New York Times published an article shortly after Blake filed a lawsuit against Baldoni, which appeared unusually timed and detailed for a piece written so soon after legal documents were submitted.
this judge is going to be very, very competent in this, and he's going to apply the law, which requires a showing of malice, which I don't think she's going to be able to undo once Baldoni's opposition shows all the things.
The article painted Baldoni in a negative light, a move that suggested more than just journalistic coincidence, but a premeditated strike possibly fueled by Blake's PR machinery. Transitioning from media manipulation to personal conduct, Ryan Reynolds faced scrutiny not from legal documents, but from the court of public opinion regarding his parenting during the filming of Deadpool.
What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
Allegations surfaced that Reynolds allowed, and at times encouraged, his young daughter to be involved in scenes with content that was highly inappropriate for her age.
But we love it too much to have ever taken it out. This Eric Carmen song.
This included her utterance of explicit lines, which were meant to be humorous within the context of the film, but were deemed irresponsible and distasteful when involving a minor.
He is a certified predator.
The public and media backlash was swift, with many expressing dismay both at Reynolds' decision and at the broader implications of such content in mainstream cinema.
Because it's opinion to say somebody is a predator, well, then that is my opinion.
Social media platforms were abuzz with criticisms, and parenting blogs and forums debated the appropriateness of exposing children to adult themes under the guise of acting.
Guiltily, that is my daughter, Inez.
I'm so sorry we had to admit that.
I am Father of the Year over here for allowing her to say such length.
This incident not only highlighted concerns about Reynolds' parenting, but also raised questions about the types of roles and scenes Hollywood deems acceptable for child actors.
He is a predator, a bully, a narcissist, a psychopath, and everything else that you can think of, because it is that gross.
Moreover, the endorsement of Deadpool by Disney and Marvel, despite its controversial content, raised eyebrows. The film, known for its irreverent humor and breaking of the fourth wall, also pushed boundaries on what is acceptable in superhero narratives, often treading into adult themes and explicit content.
This was so gross, so upsetting to me. I have to talk about it. Now, I need to wait until the 2-minute mark has passed when on YouTube, because it is that gross and graphic that I cannot actually put it in the first 2 minutes.
Disney and Marvel's backing of the film, knowing the inclusion of such elements, drew criticism from various quarters. Critics argued that their decision to proceed highlighted a discrepancy between their public persona as family-friendly entertainment providers and their actions in pursuit of box office profits.
This clip is on YouTube, and now Deadpool is on Disney Plus for children to consume. This is what Disney has decided is appropriate. This is what Marvel has decided is appropriate.
This dichotomy between the presented image and the actual content sanctioned raises critical questions about the responsibilities of major studios in shaping cultural and social norms through entertainment.
If you don't know, she played Kid Pool in Deadpool. She was 7 years old at the time. Now, I'll show you, this is one thing he said about her. Only co-star I argued with. Most people think Kid Pool is the dirtiest.
The Deadpool controversy serves as a case study in the balance, or lack thereof, between artistic freedom and moral responsibility in contemporary Hollywood filmmaking.
Who thinks that your daughter, your 7-year-old daughter, is the dirtiest out of the Deadpool movie, out of all the homophobic, disgusting, in my opinion, sexually predatory lines, filming, everything about this movie is disgusting.
The legal battles involving Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have unfolded under intense scrutiny, with each legal move heavily analyzed not only for its judicial merit, but also for its public relations impact.
Behind the scenes, and if you actually dissect the lines, they are catastrophically gross. But who thinks that your daughter is the dirtiest? Your daughter Inez.
The couple has been involved in numerous legal disputes, notably including Blake's contentious lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. The strategies deployed in these cases often reveal a complex blend of legal acumen and PR maneuvering, aimed at swaying public opinion while navigating the intricacies of the law.
But she's also pretty good at backtalk and never taking out the trash.
One of the most controversial tactics has been the alleged use of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, and private settlements. For example, during the 2020 lawsuit, it was reported that Blake attempted to use NDAs to silence any potential leaks or damaging stories that might influence the public's perception of her.
So just like he does with Blake Lively, he's always denigrating his wife. He's always praising another man, especially Hugh Jackman, who he seems to have a deep love and fondness and intimacy with. How he completely tries to embarrass and humiliate Blake Lively over and over again publicly while he praises other people. And it looks like the same thing that he does to his wife, he is doing down to his daughter.